Hey everybody, it's Mr. Davis. I'm doing my day 3 draw along. If you want to grab some pencils, a piece of paper, a marker, whatever you got laying around. I'm going to try something totally new today. So if you need to grab some art supplies, pause here and then hop back along and you can join me. I was reading from an artist that I like a lot. She makes comics. Her name is Linda Berry, and she had an exercise that we've kind of done in our class before. This exercise, some of us have done it, is we're going to start by making some random shapes. So kind of loosen your drawing fingers up, loosen your pencil up. If you're using a pencil, we're going to start with some random shapes. So for this one, shapes that you normally see, like squares, rectangles, circles, triangles, those probably aren't going to work the best here. I'm thinking more what we call organic shapes, which is kind of curvy lines, wavy shapes, kind of make your hand do some funny things. Maybe try and fit 3 or 4 of these shapes on your paper. They should all look different because we're just kind of making our hand do wild things. Now, if you do something too wavy or too crazy, you might just need to turn it into your own unique thing. But I kind of kept my shape simple, and now my job is I am gonna try and figure out what to draw out of these shapes. Now this is an imagination exercise, so actually you guys will probably be better at it than I am because your imaginations are moving all the time. But I'm already thinking. So the first shape that stands out to me is this one, because I see a ghost. I'm gonna see if I can see anything else in there before I get started. I'm also seeing kind of like a fish. If I tilt it this way, maybe that's the tail. Maybe it's a fish. Let's see if I tilt it another way, if it becomes anything else. Could be some kind of vegetable. Not really sure on that one. This shape in this corner is not having much luck with that one right now. So I'm gonna go with probably my most simple one, which is, I think I'm gonna go with the ghost. So I'm gonna make some nice, big, round, ghosty eyes for this one. There we go. Now, ghosts are always hanging out late at night, right? Spooky places. So I might make an arm, a couple lines here for an arm. And I'm gonna give this ghost something that can help it hang out in the nighttime. So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3 fingers. I'm gonna add a thumb. And you can watch mine, but you've probably got your own shapes, and so you're probably kind of coming up with your own characters. Hopefully you're working on your easiest shape, the shape that stood out to you the most. I made a little rectangle shape back here because I'm gonna give a flashlight to my ghost. Because ghosts need flashlights, I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna add, I don't know what shape that is. Is that a trapezoid or a rhombus? Beats me. Add a little rectangle at the end of my flashlight. Maybe give it a button. And now I've got my ghost's eyes. I got the arm of the flashlight. The other hand is just hanging out over here. So I did a couple lines for the arm. I did one thumb. When I make things cartoony, I like to do 3 fingers instead of 4 sometimes. It's just kind of a little artistic choice I make. Let's see, what else does my ghost need? It definitely needs a mouth. So I like the idea of a ghost that's kind of spooked. Like a ghost that's kind of afraid. Like maybe ghosts are as afraid as you or I. So I'm doing kind of a wavy line. When you make a wavy line for the mouth, sometimes it makes it look like whatever it is you drew, whoever it is, that they're not sure. So they might be a little afraid maybe. And then this is a little artist trick, but I'm going to add one more round line inside because I'm gonna blacken in these eyes later, and this will kind of make it look a little 3D, like the eye goes into the head. So I got my ghost. What else do I want to add? Maybe a little detail. Maybe I add a little patch on the bottom of my ghost. Maybe it's a ghost made out of a blanket. The blanket's kind of old, so it's got a patch. Maybe I'll add a patch up here. Just a little square or rectangle. A few lines for where it's sewn on. And there we go. Maybe some shine lines for my flashlight. Now, I was kind of thinking of what to do down here. I'm kind of seeing some bunny ears starting up here. Maybe it's like a stuffed bunny. Let's see what happens when I flip it this way. It's kind of almost like a slimy, splatty shape. So I'm not sure yet. I see kind of a paintbrush here. Maybe with some paint pouring out. And here we are, back to where we started. What do I want it to be? Do I want a bunny or a paintbrush? I think a bunny. I think I'm gonna play with this shape like a bunny. So here's gonna be our bunny ears. I'm gonna do a stuffed bunny. So I'm gonna make some eyes. But because it's a stuffed bunny, I'm going to add a couple little dots, turn them into buttons. Add a little triangle nose, little mouth, and I'm thinking this could be the bunny's paw, so maybe it's got a little paw print, the round shape for the pad of the paw, and then some other little round shapes for the rest of it. This one's a little shorter over here, but I think I could squeeze in the same thing. It's a little silly, but we'll roll with it. Maybe I can adjust my shape a little bit. I'll break the rules. Alright, over here, maybe I just draw a couple little lines for where my bunny's foot is sewn, because it's a stuffed bunny. Stuffed animal. This is getting kind of silly. So I might adjust my shape a little bit, because the bunny kind of looks like it's melting. So I'm going to add a little underbelly here. Big fan of the underbelly. And I want the inside of the ears, so I'm going to make a line. I'm going to kind of follow the line on the inside of the ear, just like that. Make another little line. Follow the inside of the ear. This ear's a little shorter. It just makes the bunny more unique. Maybe that ear didn't grow in all the way. This is a really silly stuffed animal, but you know, if it were mine, I'd like it. Alright, now we gotta figure out these other two shapes. This might be tricky. I think I finally figured out what this one is. I'm seeing like a head popping out of a shell. So I'm thinking, because I don't really recognize this head shape, I think I might make it a dinosaur head. So maybe here's the shell, and I'm gonna draw some zigzag lines for where my shell has cracked open. Zigzag lines all over the place. And remember, if you want to make cracks, it's just the letter Y is a good way to make some cracks, or however you like to make them. I don't even know why I'm saying this. Yours isn't going to be a baby dinosaur, I'm pretty sure. You're going to come up with your own. So I got my shell, got my cracks. Now, I think for the dinosaur, this is going to be the mouth. This is going to be the chin. And because it's a baby, I think I'm going to give it a really big eye. It's a big eye, big circle. Now sometimes if you want to make animals or people look tired, you can kind of play with the eyelids. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a top eyelid. This baby dinosaur is tired because it just cracked out of its shell. And if I make the bottom eyelid too, I can make two lines like that. Then I can add the pupil, the middle of the eye in here. It looks good. Now, I can't really tell it's a dinosaur yet, so maybe I add a couple little teeth. Maybe I add a nostril. Maybe I add some scales. So I don't know if you remember from the first video, we did feathers, but I said if you make the letter U over and over again, you're gonna get some nice scale shapes. And when I do scales, I don't always do the whole body with scales. I just show that they're there. So that looks pretty good. This dinosaur almost looks a little bit sick. So I'm gonna adjust the mouth just a little bit, make it a little bit bigger. And maybe I'll make the eye a little bit rounder. There we go. Now it looks a little less sick. I'm gonna add some triangle shapes. I don't know what kind of dinosaur this is, but I think those help it look like a dinosaur. Maybe you can tell me what kind of dinosaur it is. Yeah, that looks good. Maybe I'll have one little dino hand coming out of here. So I'm gonna use my eraser, erase part of my shell. Maybe I'll have one little claw coming out. It's just got two little fingers on its claw hand. Oh, I know a good one. Now what if I crack it over here and then I put a shell or a tail coming out of the shell? And I think it really says baby dinosaur. I actually really like that. Maybe I'll make a zigzag line over here and, you know, have a foot coming out. A couple little lines. Can make kind of a claw foot. Like that. Nice. And this is probably my toughest shape only because it's so simple. You can't figure it out. So I turn it this way. Nothing. I think when you have simple shapes, it makes it even harder to do this. It's tough. is really boggling my brain. Okay, the only thing I can even come up with is a waterfall. So I'm gonna add some rocks around it. Can make whatever shapes I want. I'll make them kind of round, I think. Because to me this looks like some water falling, especially if I start adding these up and down lines like this. Maybe make kind of a cloudy shape at the bottom. Yeah, I think we got a waterfall. Got some round shapes. Maybe there's something coming down the waterfall. Maybe there's a fish jumping up it. That could happen, right? Okay. So I got my 4. This ear is looking pretty silly. I think what I might do is actually, maybe it's a really old stuffed animal and part of its ear got nibbled off by the cat or something. I don't know. It's cute though. So I've got my pen. I'm trying a brush tip pen today. I also have some Sharpies standing by, so I can use those. Let's see. Yep, Sharpies. Got my brush tip pen. You can use whatever you got laying around, or if you don't have a marker, that's okay. Just add some details or trace over it. Do what you gotta do. This brush tip is pretty dried up. Not really the best one. Let's see. I think I have another here. Oh, that one's great. However your creations turned out with this challenge, I really would like to see them. Because I bet you could come up with something quite creative. I bet a lot of you would have figured out my waterfall one a lot sooner than me. Probably with some cooler ideas too. Alright, got the outside of my rabbit. I'm gonna flip it so I can do my ghost upside down, just so it's closer to me.